We're following some breaking news right now out of the Park Duval neighborhood where Louisville Metro Police are investigating a shooting. You are taking a live look at the scene from our crew who is there. This is on Beach Street in between Southern Avenue and Wilson Avenue. Major Russell Miller says officers responded to the home a little bit after 3 this afternoon. When they got there, they found a man upstairs who had been shot multiple times. We're told that he did die at the scene. Major Miller says they need anyone with any information to reach out to police.
Any information that helps us bring closure to families, bring closure to communities, helps us get answers and lock people up or bring people in, question them, talk to them, and get the information we need to solve these cases.
And if you do have any information that you think might help, you can leave an anonymous tip by calling 574-LMPD. You can also use the online portal. In less than 24 hours, you will be able to legally bet on sports right here in Kentucky.
That's right. It's going to be a historic day for our state. It took 6 months from being signed by Governor Andy Beshear to being ready for business. Here's what's coming up. Kentucky's horse racing tracks are able to become licensed sports betting facilities for a $500,000 upfront fee and then an annual renewal cost of $50,000. The brick and mortar locations will start accepting your sports bets tomorrow, September 7th. While those who want to use online sports wagering platforms are going to have to wait a few more weeks, that will become legal on September 28th.
This afternoon, Grace McKenna joins us right here in studio with a closer look at the rollout and the impact on bettors in Kentucky. Grace, what did you learn today?
Yeah, Shay, it's certainly a big week for the state, just months after that bill was finally passed by the legislature. I talked to an analyst who says anticipating the impact sports betting will have on the Commonwealth isn't too difficult. We just have to look to other states and follow the money. Come Thursday, Commonwealth sports fans will have a lot on the line.
If anyone thinks that the Louisville Cardinals could win the NCAA championship this year in football, they can go to Churchill Downs and place a bet on that.
Retail locations open for sports betting Thursday morning. The long-anticipated rollout finally here. It's been estimated the state could pull $23 million a year in tax revenue from the business. But analyst Steve Bittenbender's bet is on Kentucky.
The odds are good that Kentucky can get more. And you just have to take a look at what's happening in Indiana and Ohio.
Bittenbender says Kentuckians could spend as much as $2 or $2.3 billion annually on sports wagers, though the tracks and retail locations opening this week won't see all of that business.
About 90% of that or so will come from these online accounts.
The state's licensed online sportsbooks won't take bets until late September. Bittenbender expects online betting trends to impact state tax revenue, pointing to the increasing popularity of parlay bets with bigger stakes.
That's generating a lot of revenue for sports betting operators.
With stakes this high, Bittenbender says the state, retailers, and sportsbooks
shouldn't be too much of a hard lift for them to be ready.
Aren't leaving this rollout to chance. And tomorrow morning, it is indeed all eyes on Churchill Downs. That's where the governor is going to be putting in his first ceremonial bet. In the studio, Grace McKenna, WHAS 11 on your side.
All right, Grace, thank you very much. Well, as part of the law, a sliver of that annual tax revenue will go toward gambling addiction services.
Isaiah Kim Martinez has been talking to one counselor who believes this new publicly funded program will help more people recover. So, Isaiah, how much money are we talking about here, and how will that be spent for the counselors and those who may need help?
Well, Doug and Shay, about 2.5% of that $23 million in tax revenue you guys referenced, the governor estimates, of course, from sports betting, will create, so 2.5% of it will go towards this effort. That equates to just over $570,000 a year going toward more counselors and, of course, education. Experts at the Kentucky Council on Problem Gambling tell me they expect the need for counseling to increase as sports betting comes into the mix. And with that, they'll need more staff. Right now, we're told Kentucky only has 5 certified gambling counselors who work regionally across the state. 2 are in Louisville, none in Lexington or Northern Kentucky. Now, Dr. Ronson Lynn Clark of Owensboro says or has worked with people struggling with addiction for years. She tells me she'd love to have more than 40 counselors in Kentucky to meet the need.
For many gamblers, not being able to continue gambling is like losing their best friend. It's been their ability to cope. It's been their everything, their world. And now the world has turned upside down on them. As in recovery, there's always hope. People can and do recover.
And the Kentucky Council on Problem Gambling tells me the state would need anywhere from $1.2 to $1.4 million a year minimum to run a standard recovery program. Now, given the current tax revenue projection, that would take about 3 years of sports betting to reach that number. Now, we also talked to the council's executive director. I asked him if there are other safeguards that can or should be implemented as sports betting launches here. His answer coming up right here at 6. Guys.
All right, Isaiah, thank you very much. If you or a loved one struggling with problem gambling, call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at the number on your screen right there. You can also go to ncpgambling.org. There you'll find confidential support, which is available 24/7.
More news here tonight at 5. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul weighing in on Senator Mitch McConnell's recent health episode, expressing doubt about the doctor's statement about what happened. That doctor is the attending physician to Congress. Dr. Brian Monahan says a series of tests revealed that there is no evidence of a greater issue for Mitch McConnell. The letter shared by Mitch McConnell's office says there is no evidence that McConnell has a seizure disorder or that he experienced a stroke, TIA, or a movement disorder such as Parkinson's disease. Rand Paul, who is a Bowling Green ophthalmologist, had this to say to reporters.
The one thing that is very clear is that when someone has a seizure, it doesn't always show up on an EEG. So the person out there who's saying, oh, it's dehydration, says he has a normal EEG. Well, after brain trauma, about 25% of people can get seizures. It's called post-traumatic epilepsy or post-traumatic seizures. Of those seizures, if they're short, if they're less than 2 minutes, only about 17% of them will show up on an EEG.
Of course, as we know, Senator McConnell suffered a hard fall and a concussion when he tripped and fell at a Washington, D.C. hotel in March. Senator Paul says it appears to be a focal neurological event, but that doesn't mean it's incapacitating. Today, when questioned about his own health, Mitch McConnell said he was not going anywhere.
I have no announcements to make on that subject.
Well, when you say to those who are
I'm going to set down term as leader, and I'm going to finish my Senate term.
He went on to say, I'll finish my term as leader, and I will finish my Senate term. McConnell's term, by the way, as leader ends 2024. His Senate term ends in 2026. Well, a number of Senate Republicans quickly supported Mitch McConnell amid his health concerns, confident in his ability to lead.
We may expect that Mitch McConnell will check out for 20 seconds a day, but the other 86,380 seconds in the day, he does a pretty darn good job.
That's, of course, is Republican Senator Mitt Romney of Utah. He went on to say that he is firmly behind McConnell remaining as the Senate minority leader.
An LMPD traffic guard is in the hospital with serious injuries tonight after she was hit by a car this morning while directing traffic for Wellington Elementary School. Police say it happened around 9:20 this morning, right around school time. Officers got a 911 call reporting a person hit by a car at Cane Run Road and Bridwell Drive. When they got there, they realized the victim was a traffic guard. The car failed to stop, driving away from the scene. The woman was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening but serious injuries. A witness called into the tip line describing that car, and the car was later spotted on I-64. An officer arrested 44-year-old Delane Rowe. He is charged with leaving the scene, assault, and disregarding traffic control. And construction is well underway for the U of L Hospital West Tower. The new tower will help expand rooms so they can take care of more people. It will be 7 floors, totaling 360 private beds within the hospital. They are opening up from the ground floor up, piece by piece. The first floor will hopefully open in 2025. That will be observation units. U of L Health says this expansion will help them take care of even more community members who need it.
More than, comparing ourselves to the nation, our first step is you got to take care of the people who are here. And so this helps us take care of the people who are here in Louisville and in the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
They also said they're a little bit worried about the staffing issues and staffing that entire building, but opening just floor by floor will help. That first floor, again, will hopefully be open in 2025.
The Zonton Fire Department is growing thanks to a grant now from FEMA. The money will allow Zonton to hire more full-time firefighters, adding to the 27-man team they have right now. The new firefighters will help cover absences due to paid time off from vacations, illness, and/or injury. And they'll make it possible to staff a new fire engine company at the fire station in Brooks, Kentucky later this fall.
The station over there, the 4-man person, the Quinn over here with the 5-man person, is going to cut times down a lot. There could be a 10 to 12 minute time response from here to another part of our district on the back side of here, so that doesn't sit well with me.
Well, the federal grant for Zonton is a big one, and tonight at 6 we'll have more on how much they're getting, how many firefighters can be hired, and why they needed the help from the federal government in the first place.
The owners of a popular burger restaurant, Six Forks, announced that after 4 years, that restaurant will be closing permanently. Yesterday, Troy King, who co-owns Six Forks Burger Company with his wife, Selena Johnson, posted a farewell video on the restaurant's Facebook.
That money is no longer worth the headache, and it does not fit our lifestyle. So that being said, we are closing Six Forks.
The owners will keep the building that was once occupied by the restaurant and turn it into headquarters for Velvet Couch Hospitality Group. That group used to operate Six Forks and Fry Daddies and continues to run the cantinas at Caesars Southern Indiana Casino. The good news is Six Forks food isn't going away forever. The food trucks will continue to serve their delicious burgers and wings in the Louisville community.